Good morning. It's February 16th, 2024. It's now 1:41 a.m. and I forgot to mention, but thank God I was still watching Nigel's View on things, and it was right at the end of the video. He's talking about halos. So these Fresnel lenses, and that's what I think a halo is. I think that's the reflection of the lens, the light coming through the lens, and then you get that big halo and what looks like a giant lens in the sky. I mean, sure, I could be wrong, but I think it's at least a good theory. And if you ever noticed, this is what I was talking about with the double rainbow too. The second rainbow, the colors are inverted from the real rainbow, like it was inverted before. And if you notice too, the colors are also inverted on a halo. And here's something that I've observed too that I've never heard anybody really talk about. Every time you see a halo, I don't know if it'll show up better if I turn the brightness down. Not really. Whenever you see a halo and whenever you see a double rainbow, the inside part is always darker than the sky around it. I don't know, this isn't really showing any really very good. But whenever you see a double rainbow, the in-between part between the rainbows is always a darker part of the sky than the other part of the sky. Every single time. I've never, not once, seen it the other way. This one looks like it's pretty equal. But I don't know, I can't tell for sure. It looks a little bit darker to me than, yeah, the inside looks darker than the outside sky, but it's kind of close. You can tell though. Not so much on, I can see with my naked eye and better than I can with this. Trying to adjust the brightness. But it is a little bit darker inside. So whenever you see a halo, whenever you see a double rainbow, always look in the middle and you will see that it is darker part of the sky. So I wanted to also say that, but whenever you see a halo in the sky, it kind of looks like a big lens. Is that what is happening? And then maybe during this time too, here's another theory I have too. Whenever there's a halo, I think they're cloaking whatever's behind and whatever's in that halo as it's like going through. So maybe there's some planets going through. Imagine some planets. Where's my hand at? Imagine some planets. Not very good job. Well, imagine planets going by through this area, but they're using those lenses to cloak it all off so you can't see the planets. So whenever all the stuff happens, the stuff hits the fan, when all that stuff happens, they won't be able to use this technology and everybody's going to see everything. And that could be what's in the Bible that says men's hearts will fail them for knowing what is coming. And if, suddenly you looked in the sky and there's planets everywhere, wouldn't that freak you out? Yep. Especially if you had no clue that it was there. But right now, I think all those planets are out there. I mean, you're not really super close, obviously, but close enough where we'd be able to see them. And then they use this technology to hide them, along with the sun, too. Because probably this Planet X system is probably nearby the sun. And if you look, blah, blah, blah. I also heard, I should make another video about it, too. But just a quick note at the end here. When the eclipse happens on April 8th, there's going to be the Devil Comet right next to it. Now I've heard reports, I'll have to figure out where I found that at, that said that there's going to be it could be another comet that we could see right next to the eclipse during the eclipse. So now 2 comets? What is going on? Anyway, I'm hoping that people can research this. And please pray about it too. And please pray for discernment on it. I forgot to say that on the last one I was going to, but then I forgot. But yeah, don't just believe me. Do your research and pray on it, I'm just trying to show what could be, what is going on in our skies and why, we're seeing what we're seeing. It says in the Bible, there will be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars. And, that's what I think this is. I think this is the signs that we're, supposed to be looking for. And a lot of people kind of just brush it off and don't think nothing of it. And they should be like, hey, something's wrong with the sky. Something's wrong with the sun. Something's wrong here. But nobody seems to notice or care. But if they would just take a little time. I mean, that's what I always told people in the beginning, go outside for yourself. Because a lot of people said I was crazy. I thought it was crazy too. When I first heard about the sun simulator, I thought it was the craziest thing in the world. There's no way. But then I started seeing it for myself. If you go out and record the sun, take videos, watch it back. You'll see there's so many crazy things about it. And go back on my videos. Proof. If you find the proof of the sun simulator, I do all these things. I do the stretch test where you can see the edges of the lens. I do the finger test, or the pen test is better because your finger's thicker. But use like a thin as you can get, and put it up by the sun, and you can blot out that little middle part of the sun, which I think is the sun simulator. You blot that out and all the light goes away. How can that be? If something is 93 million miles away, you can't blot out the sun. Come on. People just don't get it. It's white. It's all different sizes and shapes. Come on. And then another one thing that I've noticed about the sun nowadays compared to when it was, back in days past, when the sun went behind the clouds, it went behind the clouds, and then you just didn't see it again until it came out from behind the clouds. Nowadays, you see the sun shining through the clouds. How is that possible? I've never seen that before, but now it happens all the time. And that's when you see all the different shapes and sizes of the sun. And sometimes you see it where it's just little tiny, I always call it the tiny white disc. And then, it gets in the clouds. Depending on how thick the clouds are and everything, it gets all big and small and weird. But anyway, I don't want to keep going on, but there we go. I wanted to put that in there too about the halo, because to me, I think that's a lens. And that's what we're seeing, is the reflection of a lens out there. And, lens that big? Well, maybe the lens ain't that big, but maybe it appears that way coming through, like a magnifying glass. And maybe that's why the sun, when it hits your skin, it feels like it's burning. Even in the dead of winter, 20 below out, but the sun is scorching your skin. Thanks for watching. God bless.